Hello everybody, this is Peter B. And today I have a very special video for you. With the World Baseball Classic about to conclude, I decided to show baseball cards around the world. And I'm going to be showing some scarce and you might even say rare cards on our journey. And I'm hoping that John Mangini, Rick from Vintage Oddball Cards, and even Orlando haven't seen any of, or not any, but some of these. So, come on and let's take the journey. We're going to start in the good old USA. And this is a Topps card. And this is from their newest set, 2023, and you're looking at Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox. So of course you know that United States has made cards. They made cards since 1869, the very first card. They pretty much control the sport card industry. So this is what the newest Topps look like, in case you haven't seen any. And this is Rafael Devers. Okay, now we're going to fly down south to Puerto Rico. And here is Ken Caminiti from BYN Cards. This was a Winter League, 1989. And I'm going to be stumbling on names and team names. I'm not even going to try to tell you what team he played for, but it was definitely Puerto Rican Winter League. And here's the back of it. Tercera base must mean third base. I know he was a third baseman. So once again, this is a BYN card from Puerto Rico. This is Ken Caminiti. Okay, and while we're on the islands, let's stay there and go west a little bit to Cuba. And this is a 1945 Carmelo Deportivo. And Orlando, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, I mean. But this is Louis Tiant Sr. Yes, the Louis Tiant you know's father. He was a fabulous Negro League player and Puerto Rican League player. Cuban League player. Sorry about that. So they do make cards in Cuba. And they're actually pretty nice cards. This is just one of many, many series that they made. Very nice Cuban cards. And now we're going to fly over to the Dominican Republic. And this is a 1990 Winter League card of Moises Alou. See that it's ML, I think that's a DR. We're from the Dominican Republic. So yes, the Dominican Republic also has made baseball cards. I'm going to stay in this nice Caribbean weather. And we're going to fly over to Aruba and Curacao for the Netherlands, who they are part of the Netherlands territory. And this is actually a stamp from 1984. It was a set of 4, so just a stamp. Nothing special on the back. There's a fielder, a batter, a runner, and a pitcher. So back in 1984, if you wanted to send mail from your trip down to either Aruba or Curacao, you could use these stamps. And I also had a newer stamp in 2019 from the Netherlands. I don't know who that's supposed to depict. It kind of looks like a Yankee, but it could be a Netherlands team. I don't know who 82, if there is a Yankee number 82. Or it could be one of the island teams. Well, this one's from 2019. Okay, so we're done the East Coast and the islands. Oh, wait a minute. No, we're not done. We're not done. I'm sorry. We had to go a little bit further south, down to Venezuela. Now, Venezuela has made a lot of cards. They were making them for Topps to be distributed in Venezuela. Some of them were exact same as Topps. Some of them had English and Spanish on it. And one special year, 1967, they had the Topps version with English, Spanish on the back. And then they had their own version showing former Hall of Famers retired. And they also did some of their Venezuelan league. And that was in 1967. Well, they continued this without Topps in 1970. The Ovencia Venezuelan, and this is Luis Tiant Jr. He played in the Winter League. See, he has his Boston Red Sox hat, but this is from Venezuela Winter League. And that's the back. Just pretty much just like their 1967 style backs. But this one had no affiliation with Topps. That's from 1970. Okay, so now we're going to hit our first very rare or scarce card. Venezuelan from 1931. Look at that picture, photo. Man, slide it into the bag. Now, I think it's a reverse negative. Looks like the wording is backwards on his shirt. But it's still a cool picture. And I assume he's sliding in the first base because it says Primera base. And forgive my pronunciation, but like I said, it's 1931. And it's E, Quintana, and Kai. I assume Kai means company. And it's a match between Lucona and the Royals. And it's a cigarette card. Look at that card. That is one cool card from 1931, Venezuela. I love that mid-air capture they got on this card. Okay, so now that we're all tan in the islands, let's go across the ocean to England. And we're going to start with a 1962 Dixon, Ord and Company, Babe Ruth. That's Babe Ruth right there. This is from a set of sports of the countries. Each country had a different sport that they're known for. And of course, America's known for baseball. And the most famous baseball player is Babe Ruth. So baseball with Babe Ruth gets to represent USA in this series. 1962, Dixon, Ord, and Company. And they made one a little earlier. This one's from 1925. And this is George Sisler. It's a turf cigarette card. And once again, this was a series of different sports. And card number 50 depicted baseball. And they used George Sisler's image way back in 1925. Baseball card from England. Okay, now that we visited England, let's go a little south to Spain. And this is a postcard. Spain had the Olympics in Barcelona. And this is the 1990 postal history of the Olympics. You see that it has been stamped. That's a postcard. That writing's on the sleeve, not the card. So a postcard depicting baseball, as well as a stamp depicting baseball from Barcelona, Spain. $1990 or 1992. Maybe Barcelona, 1992. Yeah, 92. I think that's when the Olympics were. Okay, let's stay in Spain. And this is a set of two cards from 1959. And it's from Taurus. And it's a two card. Here's the left side card. And here's the right side card. And that's supposed to be Ted Williams. 1959 Spain. Card backs are the same. Taurus chocolates. $1959, Ted Williams. Cool card. Cool cards. All right, let's go from Spain over to France. And yes, even France is getting in this video. This is actually a card from a magazine from 1992. It's the News Sport magazine. And of course, that's George Brett. News Sport. So France even got into our baseball journey, baseball card journey around the world. And now let's keep going east to Germany. And this is a 1932 Sanella margarine. And it's a Japanese catcher. And no one knows who he is. But he's Japanese and he's a catcher. Oh, I do have the thing. That's what the back looks like, minus my little thing there, telling me what it is. There's actually another baseball card in this set. Once again, I think it was a group of sports around the world. And I wish I had that one instead of this one, because that one is Babe Ruth from this same Sanella margarine set. So this is from 1932, the Japanese catcher. But Germany is not done. Here is another rare card. It's actually a stamp from Germany. And it's 1909 German baseball stamps, Eddie Collins. Nothing on the back because it is a stamp. But I have never seen that one before until I saw this particular one. 1909 from Germany, depicting Eddie Collins of the Philadelphia Athletics. And let's move south to Italy. This is actually a Panini sticker made in Italy. No name, generic player, but it looks like Pete Rose to me. And it is Italian. You can see that it's Panini, 1986, made in Modena. '86 sticker, and I am assuming that is Pete Rose. From Italy. Okay, let's go from Europe all the way to Asia. And we're going to start with probably the second most baseball crazy country, and that's Japan. And this is a 2011 BBM Japan Pacific League. So it's a Japanese card. And the funny thing is, it's a Korean player, Bung-Hyung Kim. And that Korean player did come over to the States and play for the Arizona Diamondbacks, as well as the Boston Red Sox. Japanese card depicting Korean player who did make it to the major leagues. That's the back of the card, if anyone can read Japanese. Did you know? Well, I have no clue if I know that or not. It's from the Japan Pacific League. From 2011, Japan. But we'll go a little older, and we'll do 1962 Japan card, and that's Sadahara Ho, the Babe Ruth of Japan. I forget how many total home runs he has, but it's a lot. That's the back of it. Back then, these vintage Japanese cards tended to look like this, with a lot of figures and writing and numbers. I have no idea what any of it means, but this is typical of a vintage Japanese back. 1962, Sadahara Ho, Japan. Now we're going to go down a little south of Japan to Korea. And this is Lee Jung-ho, 2019 SCC KBO League card. He did play in the World Baseball Classic. He is a superstar in the Korean League. He will be able to come out of his contract at the end of this season, and then he become a free agent in America. So you will probably see him playing in America next year. Lee Jung-ho. 2019 from Korea. I'm going to stay in Korea. Here's another player, a pitcher, that was in this recent WBC series. And this is Young Po Ko. Young Ko Po. Or Young Po Ko. The Americans put the KO at the end of the name. This is a Korean League card. Korean player. 2015. Nice card with the black borders and the gold around the image. Like I said, he did play in the recent WBC. Okay, we're going to go a little further south in the Pacific, all the way to Taiwan. And this card is a little bit funny because it is Ichiro. 1997 card one. It's a Taiwanese card depicting Ichiro. They do have their own baseball league. I don't know whether they make cards or not, but there's an Ichiro card. And that's the back. It is from Taiwan. Printed in Taiwan. Depicting a Japanese player. Also as a major leaguer and due for the Hall of Fame when he's eligible. Ichiro. From Taiwan. Okay, now let's leave Asia and go south as far as we can to Australia. And yes, they do play baseball in Australia. And here is a Future Stars card from 2016 Australia League, Ronald Acuna Jr. He did play in Australia for a little bit. 2016. And here's the back. It says that he signed with the Atlanta Braves. That's his Australian League card. Ronald Acuna Jr. Okay, we're in the Pacific. Let's go halfway across and visit Dillon in Hawaii. And here's an Eric Young Jr. card from a 2007 Hawaii Winter Ball. He played for the Waikiki Beach Boys. You can see he was in the minor leagues at the time. 2007 card, so that's his 2006 record. Hawaiian Winter Baseball. Eric Young Jr. I believe he is a major leaguer right now. Or recently, maybe not right now. I believe he did play a few games in the majors. So Hawaii. Okay, we're going to fly from Hawaii and keep going east to Mexico. And I'm going to see two cards from Mexico. The first one is a 2012. This is autographed Orlando Ortiz. He is in the Mexican Baseball Hall of Fame. And you can see these were Immortals 2012. And that's the back of it from Tecate. (2012) from Mexico, Mexican Baseball Hall of Famer, Orlando Ortiz. Now we're going to go a little bit earlier in Mexican history to another rare card. And this is 1945. Juan Guerrero. And these cards were made to be stuck into an album. And it's the Álbum de Béisbol Profesional de la Liga Mexicana. This is Juan Guerrero of the La Junta BBC in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. So an old Mexican baseball card. Rare, scarce card. Juan Guerrero, 1945. Now that we made landfall on the continents, we're going to fly from Mexico all the way up to Alaska. And this is a 1990 Alaska League card of Jason Giambi when he was a college student. Look at that. The aluminum bats and everything. And he was on the Panners. 1990 Alaska Gold Panners. And that's the back of it. Alaska Gold Panners. $19.90 Alaska. And we're going to make our final stop. We're going to go south to Canada. Now, Canada, you're probably all familiar with Canadian baseball cards. I mean, in the 90s, there was Leaf. Donruss and Leaf were together. Donruss would make the American version, and Leaf would make the Canadian version in French and English. And before them, there was Topps and O-Pee-Chee. Once again, Topps would make the American card, the original card. And O-Pee-Chee would make the Canadian version, same front. The back is in English and French. But even before them, there was Gowdy and Worldwide Gum. Here is a 1933 Pat Malone. Same front as the Gowdy bubblegum card you get in the States. On the back has Big League Chew, just like you'd have in the United States, but it also has, instead of saying Gowdy in Boston, it says Worldwide Gum in Montreal. And it has that bilingual back in English and French. So here's a 1933 Worldwide Gum. And here's a 1934. Once again, same exact front as a 1934 Gowdy. Difference being, instead of saying Gowdy, it says Worldwide Gum from Montreal. And once again, English and French. Long before O-Pee-Chee and Leaf, there was Gowdy and Worldwide Gum. But Canada has been doing baseball cards well before this. In 1912, they made a set of the Eastern League, which was the minor league in the day. And they look like this. This is a C46 Imperial Tobacco. Now, that's the back of it. This was from Canada. This is Felon from the Providence Grays. And the reason they made this set of cards up in Canada, because part of the Eastern League at that time was the Montreal Royals and the Toronto, I forget their name. So they did have a lot of Montreal players and Toronto players in this set, and as well as all the other teams from the Eastern League in 1912. So that concludes our journey around the world in baseball cards. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've seen some cards you have never seen before. And if that's the case, please give me a like, put a nice comment in, and even subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.